Well, good morning, everyone. Today, as usual, I'm going to check my phone to see if the audio kicks in correctly, and then we'll get started. Usually about a 30-second delay or so. Hang with me. I just got a very cheap microphone, so I got to make sure it's not crackling or it's actually working. And it's taking longer than I want today. Come on. I feel like I want to be live. Maybe I'm not live. Oh, I'm live, baby. Okay, it's working. We could start. So, this is what's happening. In the next couple years, um, everything, everything in society that involves contracts, that involves business, that involves currency, which is everything, will be on the blockchain and will involve smart contracts. Um, well, I mean, everything: real estate, business deals, mortgages, uh, everything. Like, I can't say everything with a capital E enough. So, the way that's possible is smart contracts on a distributed ledger means immutable, ironclad, immutable. And there's a caveat to that, so we'll go into in a second. Because, like, if the business deal changes, you want to be able to change the contract. So, there's ways to do that, but it can't be nefariously altered. So this includes hospitals. This includes, I mean, everything. So, but this, what I'm going to focus on is PHI, patient health information. It, that's all your medical records, everything, and you don't want that. You don't want people knowing that. You want to keep it secret, but you also want your doctor to know that. You want to pick and choose who you want to know that. How do you do that on the internet? How can you do that without it being hacked? I mean, it's being hacked right now. You know, all your 23andMe, all your Apple Bio watches, all the information on the internet right now is being hacked, bought, and sold. So, but later on, it won't be. It'll be secure. And the way to do that is through smart contracts. Uh, you agree to the stipulation of exactly what information is released and to whom it is and for how long it's released. And that's all negotiated in the contract before time, ironclad, written in code. So that's where we're headed. And I'm talking 3 to 5 years max. I'm betting sooner than that, but that's the timeline. Of course, it's up to Congress to get their shit together, but it is happening right now, and it will happen. So, us and the people that listen to my show probably know I'm into crypto. I'm into blockchain. I've been preaching blockchain to everybody, and hasn't landed yet, but at least they know they have that term in their head. I mean, I'm talking hospital administrators, everybody. So they have never heard of that term before, and it's about to rule their life. And it's about, in the next couple of years, it's going to be everything they interact with at their job is going to be on the blockchain, and they have not heard of that term yet. I mean, that's scary. I mean, they don't need to know. You don't need to know how your emails work. You don't need to know how the card swiper works and how your badge works, to get you in the door. You just need to know that it works. So most of them won't need to know anything about this. Just, they'll get their TMS report. That's the training uh, modules at the VA. You get your TMS, and they'll give you a 5-minute cartoon, poorly animated, equitable uh, cartoon of here's what you need to know about the blockchain, and they'll be on their way. But there's a lot in the background, trillions of dollars, billions and billions and billions of dollars in the background that go into it. And since that's happening, I want so that's a fact. That's happening, is happening now, and will be implemented soon. That's a fact. Um, Now I'm going to go into my speculation with the research question. What blockchain will the government use for the Veterans Association's hospitals? What blockchain will they use? Because I would like to buy into that now while it's cheap, before price appreciation happens. So that's where we're at. What blockchain will they use? Nobody. I mean, nobody. There's no information on it yet. So Ethereum based. Now let's just jump into it right there. So Ethereum based, good, ironclad smart contracts, immutable, um, mutable. You can't change them. You can't alter them. You can't go in and I mean, they're ironclad. But, but, what if they need to be changed? What if any number of millions of circumstances come up because the healthcare industry is chaotic? What if the smart contract needs to be altered? Ethereum can't do that. I think there's a caveat there too. I think they can now, but not natively, like not within their own blockchain. They have to do some add-ons, some workarounds, some third parties, and I'll research that more later. This is just a 30,000-foot view of just dipping your pinky toe in there. So Ethereum based smart contract, ironclad. Ethereum is good at what they do. Slow, costly, well, not relatively cheap, but as the network, as the blockchain ramps up, and what they call shoot, I forgot the word, and scales, gets bigger and bigger, more people are on there, the network costs um, fluctuate, and that's bad for government. That's bad for your bottom line. That's bad for corporations. You don't have a predictable price, so that's very unattractive for corporations looking at the bottom line. Okay, so we got something Ethereum based, ironclad, but maybe you could have a native to the blockchain way to alter the the smart contracts. Like, we're talking about, hospital records, patient information, PHI, but like, also this applies to business, to mortgages, to real estate. Like, you're doing a big deal, an acquisition deal to get some property. What if the terms change? Well, on Ethereum, proper, you can't alter that smart contract, not easily, not natively. Native means like within the blockchain itself. You have to go to third parties or add-ons or workarounds. So we're going to need something that has the immutability ironclad function, but can also roll with the punches and go with the new data that needs to happen in a business transaction or patient health information, and it has to have predictable what they call gas fees. That's like how many tokens you use for like per transaction, and I'll go into that later too, because the tokens are what they call the gas. That's what makes it go, and secures it, and we'll go into all that later. Because I'm starting this from the aspect that maybe my listeners have not even heard the term blockchain, because I talked to hospital administrators that have been in the hospital for 20 years, have not even heard this term blockchain. So I had to pump the brakes, take a step back. So now we can't even talk about smart contracts until we talk about blockchain. But pivoting really quick to the thing that makes crypto, because that's what you heard is crypto. What is this? It's an algorithmic money. It's fancy woo-woo crap that makes you lose your money. But the only reason crypto can exist at all is because of the blockchain, because of the distributed ledger. And I won't go into I'm gonna have to do a whole video on blockchain, because that's important. But again, I'm keeping it 30,000 foot. We're way up here, just broad strokes right now. And this is the inaugural video of which blockchain is the government going to use for the VHA or VAH. And no data. Like right now, we just looked it up. Okay, most likely it's going to have to be Ethereum based because of the smart contract aspect. But it's going to have to be, you're going to have to be able to make changes to it without compromising the integrity, without leaking the patient health information, without third parties being able to hack it. Okay, what can we do? I narrowed it down to 2 right now, and there's hundreds. There's hundreds, but I'm just gonna start researching on 2 and see where that spider webs for me. Because anybody who knows my research, I just start and then I just see where it takes me, and I usually arrive at a pretty decent answer. So let's get started. So there's a blockchain, a crypto token. Well, the blockchain is called Hedera, and the token is called H bar, and it has this symbol, the little double lined H. This could do everything I talked about. It's Ethereum based. It has the distributed ledger. It has smart contracts, and you can safely alter them natively and securely. But here's the big draw, and here's the big drawdown. It's governed by known institutions. It's controlled. It's centralized. Well, maybe the government likes that. Well, maybe the government goes rogue, and now they could sell your information. So if the government partners with a huge company or a huge country, they have backdoor access to your data right now. It's not decentralized, it's not secure. So for me personally, no thank you. I mean, it's great technology, everything's great about it. I just don't trust countries. I don't trust governments, which is smart in my opinion. I don't The whole point of the blockchain is that nobody's in charge of it. Nobody could put their thumb on the scale and say, "Well, I know this is the answer, but I want equity. I want my DEI pushed this way." All DEI means is unfair. It means whoever has control of the network pushes the answers in a certain direction. That's all DEI is. Mutated, rotted governance. That's what DEI is. And Hedera has that. It has the rot. It has the ability to be pushed in whatever direction the people in charge want. What if these ones that are in charge right now, they're benevolent, they're gracious. Cool, great. What if somebody else takes over and all of a sudden they're not gracious? What if they're elite captured? What if they work for another nation? Well, then that's not great. If captured agents of another nation have access to all of Americans' health records, that's not great. 23andMe. So, although this is great, I like it. I got HBAR. I'm invested. I want it to do good. I don't want it to be the main character. I don't want it to play a center role until they get governed by known institutions. What's the biggest problem in the world right now? It's the institutions. They're all captured, they're all corrupt, they're all fraudulent, fake, phony, and false. Like, that's the issue. So to fix it, we're gonna put them in charge of the new technology. That's not decentralized. That's the same thing over and over again. That's insanity. That's stupidity. That's retarded. Do not put the institutions that got us here, like keep bailing out the banks. Then they give themselves bonuses. Then they do the same thing again, and now they're in trouble again. Like right now, they're in trouble. 2008, they were in trouble. Don't keep doing the same dumb thing. Quit stealing our money. So quit stealing our patient health information. So, oh, they're trusted, or they're known. We know, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. That's a stupid argument. This technology, blockchain, can make it so you don't have to trust anybody ever again. I don't have to trust if you're going to take my information or not because it's impossible for you to take my information. But if it's governed by institutions, that's how, our voting systems are governed by known institutions. And that's why they're fake, phony, and false. That's why every election is fraudulent. Our what else? Our schools are governed by institution. Our states are governed by known institutions. Our everything, and it's all corrupt, captured. Everything's fraudulent. It's not. They're not. Take. Okay, so another pivot. For the first part of my master's thesis, it was in 2019. I was studying, the resiliency of blockchains in pandemics. Well, in disasters, natural disasters, and the pandemic was anything but natural. I call it the pandemic of policy. And what we know is all pandemics were created in a lab. Lyme disease, hey, that was from Plum Island, New Jersey. Go check that out. Lyme disease was created in a lab. Uh, SARS-CoV-2 created in a lab. Every pandemic is created in a lab. So I was studying, resiliency of supply chains, disaster supply chains. Like, how do we keep the supply chain going when major things happen? And I was making some progress. So first off, I made an algorithm. It's golden ratio derived trigonometric function that operates on iterations, and it's really cool. And the point was, it takes the decision making out of the hands of the administrators, because the administrators are how you get into a pandemic. They That's how you run out of supplies, because they made the decisions of what to order. That's how you get Lyme disease, because the administrators gave the funding to make the disease. So take the decision making out of the hands of the administrators. The administrators that, as of 2025, have not heard of the term blockchain. Take the decision making out of their hands. That's what my research was showing. But I had to pivot from supply chain resiliency because of the policies they were implementing intentionally were intentionally destroying the supply chains. And I got hours of studies, thousands of papers on that. If you want to go deep into that, look at my videos. I go into that really deep. So I had to pivot from keeping supply chain resiliency, disaster supply chain resiliency, because we were collapsing the supply chains on purpose. I'm like, well, this is fucking stupid. Sorry, F-bomb. This is stupid. So what's causing this? The policies. So I switched to studying the policies of disaster response, the policies of the pandemic. So I wrote the book. It's called All of a Sudden, the origins of the pandemic of policy in 2019. And that's all it was. It was the known institutions, the mainstream media pushing fear, and then the politicians working with the mainstream media, all the same money, all the same people, to make you think that there's a pandemic. And it was just evil, bad policy. So, governed by known institutions, no thank you. That's poor, captured, anti-citizen policy. So, great technology governed by now we know evil, satanic, pedophile baby eaters. No thank you. And so let's just let's move on. So what else could do that? We need something that's Ethereum based. 1 second. I got a sick chicken, so I had to separate her. And the other chickens are waking up, so I got to close the door because they'll peck the crap out of her. Okay. So we're moving on from HBAR, and these could just be placeholders because, like I said, there's hundreds of different blockchains being engineered now. Like, in 2013, I was a bartender, and that was right when, microbrewery, bro, that was all starting up. And everyone had their own little brewery and everything, every type of beer, every type of IPA. They had black IPAs, which were actually good. They were like stout and IPA mixed together. Those were nice. But double IPA, super hoppy, blah, 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 and all beers in between that. And eventually most of them fell apart, fell away, went bankrupt, got acquired. That's what's happening now in any burgeoning, any industry that's that's growing up, coming online now. There'll be tons at first, just throwing money at the wall, throwing everything at the wall. That'll condense and consolidate, be acquired or go bankrupt. And there'll be a few left. And we're in like 2 or 3 phases of that right now. These are the ones that are left. Like right now, what's happening in the crypto world is the meme coins. Like there was tons of coins, oh, this is fun, it's good. The coins that will make it through this next shift, this next filtering era, which is right now, and probably in the next couple of weeks, where the funding is going to go to next, the liquidity after the Clarity Act is passed, This is serious money. This isn't fun money. This is serious. Trillions and eventually quadrillions. Uh, this money, institutional money, is going towards tokens with utility. You have a cute picture in your icon, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. What can your token do? Oh, nothing. It's just funny. Fart coin? That is funny. But what does it do? Oh, nothing. There won't be a trillion, multi-trillion dollar conglomerate or a country or a corporation or a hedge fund or anything like that that will bet their reputation on something like Fartcoin. It's it's going to have utility. It's going to be able to do something. Smart contracts, gas fees, bridge currencies. Like what we're thinking, XRP is going to be the global bridge currency. It has to be able to perform, to do something. So we're getting a filtering process right now is happening. And when the Clarity Act passed, Bitcoin, it's a store of wealth. XRP, it could bridge currencies. I like Flare, FLR. It can it can link blockchains together to like some blockchains don't have proof of stake, which we'll have to go into POS, like HBAR, like Ethereum. I think Stellar doesn't either. So you use Flare to wrap your tokens, and then you could stake them to get yields and rewards, and liquid staking and all that. So we've got to go into all that later, but it has to have a function. It has to have utility. So that's the next sifting process right now. It's happening. So the hundreds of Ethereum based, I think level one. I still got to do more research on level one, two, three, and all that. And there's a level zero as well. So I got to do some research on that. I'm still getting smart on this topic, and like, it's I don't know everything, and I'm still at like 99.9%. I'm more knowledgeable than 99.9% of people in America on this topic, and I still don't know everything. So like in 2013 when all the beers were coming out, I knew more than most people in I was in Flint, and I knew more than most people in Flint about these beers, and I still didn't know everything. I still didn't know all the beers that were coming out, everything about them, where they source their ingredients. And believe me, I tried my damnedest to try them all, but I didn't know everything, but I knew more than most people. So it's like that. And then the sifting process. And then in my bar, I did my own sifting process because it was a small bar. I only had 8 taps, and one of them had to be Bud Light because of 2 of the regulars. So I always had to have Bud Light on tap. So, I got 7 taps to deal with. There was places down the street that had 30 taps. They had all the beer. I had to pick the best of the best. And I think I did, and I quadrupled the revenue for that bar in the 2 years I was there. And yeah. So we're doing that here with blockchains. They're gonna have to be sifted. They're gonna have to be filtered based on utility and functionality. So HBAR is great technology, governed by trusted institutions. No, thank you. That's how we got here. We put administrators in charge, and they got captured and corrupted. They got lobbied like Congress, and the banks lobbying Congress to stall the Clarity Act. Like, no, thank you. Congress is part of the governed by known institutions. Congress is being ran by the banks right now. No, thank you. I want a decentralized, distributed technology called the blockchain, where no matter how many people put their thumbs on the scale doesn't move. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point. Nobody can tilt the scale. That's the point. So, what could do that? We're going to go, what is a smart contract? I guess I should have did that first. Sorry for it being bright all of a sudden. So there's boop, bop, beep, another one. I had it. Core features. All right, so yeah, they had the correct by construction, but now it's called Zug. Okay, so there's another blockchain, a lot like uh, Hedera, with their token is H bar. There's Casper, a lot of good things, Ethereum based, smart ironclad distributed smart contracts, not governed by known institutions. Nobody can put their thumb on the scale. Well, right there, I'm like, okay, I'm listening. So if you could put your thumb on the scale of a blockchain, it's basically just like a bank now. You could just print money with fiat currency, fractional reserve. You don't even have to have the money in your bank that you say you do. Doesn't matter. We just make things up, print the money. Deficits don't matter. Modern monetary theory. Deficits are pretend. The money's pretend. Everything's pretend. Everything's fake, phony, and false. I think we should stop that. So let's get something real, something that cannot be altered, cannot have, no matter how much money you throw at it, no matter how much the people using it are corrupt and elite captured, it will still represent the truth. Well, I like that. So Casper walks in the door. So this is my bet. Um, it's too early to tell. The government doesn't even know which ones they're going to, or the government hasn't said which one they're going to use. But this is a contender for me. In my opinion, I bought some. This has everything I want. Uh, I mean, the government might want H bar. It depends on what you want to do. Like, if the government's corrupt and captured and wants to sell your health information, sure, they want H bar because they're the trusted. Trust us, bro. We'll keep your data safe. Trust us. This Casper, no trust. You do not need to trust anybody because it can't be altered. So the government might hate that because the government won't be in control of it. It's not governed by known institutions. Me as an individual whose uh, patient health information, my VHA, is on the line, I want the scale to be ironclad and not be able to be tipped. If my government gets pissed at me, I don't want them to go digging into my files. They can't dig into my files here. I like that. So they got a correct by construction research model that they've engineered up called the Zug consensus. So it's Ethereum based, Casper is Ethereum based, and they can have your ironclad smart contracts, which everything is going to be on a smart contract. So, but they have a native way to alter it. Let's see if they go into that. I'm still researching this. I'm still trying to learn it. Here's the white paper. Oh, I'm going to need that, but dang, I don't know if I should do that live. Whoa. I took all my electrolytes and my little supplements early on an empty stomach and then started drinking coffee. Never do that. WebAssembly allows most common programming languages. So, and then the next term is interoperability. Uh, how many things can it work with? And Casper could work with a lot of things. So the whole point of this video is just to get the question out there. What blockchain will the Veterans Association Hospital use? That's my question. And my number one guess right now, which can always change, but this has everything I like. And it's like number on the list, I think it goes by market cap. It's like number 535. So most likely only the top 10 will make it through this filter, maybe the top 100. Gimme, gimme, gimme. What the fuck is that? Whoops, sorry, F word. Okay. So Ethereum based. So anybody who's been watching my videos know I listen to Jake Claver. Can't prove him right or wrong. Don't know if he's trying to sell his business, which he obviously is trying to sell his business, but if he's also true as well. I'm doing my research. It's starting to sound pretty true. Um, he says Tether's going to be in some trouble soon, so because of their assets. So we got XRP up here, number 5, doing nice. Bitcoin number 1. Everything else is altcoins, but Ethereum's great, like we covered earlier. But uh, uh, unpredictable gas fees, and you can't natively alter the smart contract. All right, so we're going down. Let's see where H bar is. So XRP is up there. We need Hedera, number 26. See, that's up there. So in the sifting process, and Sui's a contender too. That's in there. I haven't fully researched that yet, but there's something there. Fast transaction speeds, faster than XRP. Um, Wait, what? Oh, Shiba Inu. Oh, I was like, if Sui's that cheap, I'm buying a lot right now at 10 cents. So Hedera's up there. Sui, there's something there. I'll have to look into that. But Hedera H bar, that's in the top 26. That seems like it's being pushed. But like we saw, governed by known institutions. The whole point of blockchain is it's governed by nobody. That's the whole point. Distributed, not decentralized. So this is decentralized. It has a govern. It's governed by a bunch of things. Still governed, same frickin' thing. You need decentralizes. Well, centralizes where we're at now, which is a failed experiment every time in history, of course. Then we go to decentralized, which is a group of people. It's a centralized group of people. Failed experiment every time in history, of course. Then we go to distributed, which is where we're heading, and we will get there no matter what, I promise, which is nobody's in charge of it. Nobody's thumb can push the scale down. No, thank you. It always fails. That's where we're headed, is the first time in history where nobody could push the scale. Nobody could mess with the scale. It always reads accurately. That's where we're headed. That's the whole point of all of this for the last, since JFK, since 1913, when the Federal Reserve, when they sunk the Titanic to push the Federal Reserve. No, thank you. 100 years of slave labor. No, thank you. So I'm into Kronos, and they just released AI.com last night. So AI agents, we're going to have to do a thing on that. That's outrageous. Every country, every company, every individual is going to have your own personal AI agent. It's like a personal assistant on steroids, and it'll do all the stuff you don't want to do. Set your appointments, order your tickets, order your lunch, order you a cat, whatever. Everything. You have your own personal assistant, so you could We're freeing up our time. Our time and energy is being stolen by satanic, pedophilic baby eaters, and we're going to take that back. We are taking it back right now. So this is one of the aspects of it is Crow. I think they're going to use the Crow token, which is the crypto.com native token, to fuel the AI agent as the gas fee. You got World Liberty. We're heading down here. Whoa, polka dot's 38. Ooh, it's $1. Uh, I have a little bit of that. So we keep. What are we looking for? Casper. Oh, we're down in 5. So I want to go down to 500. Can you look it up? Because I don't want to scroll that much. Casper. Give me my number. What's my number? Boy, that's only coins. Oh, that's all total coins. Okay. Info. What does it rank? Okay, looking. I don't know this website yet. 481. Okay, it was 535 a couple days ago. It's climbing. But like I was saying, in 2013, with all these beers that were coming out, all these microbrews, it consolidated into the ones that could produce the most, that could distribute the widest, and that could advertise and all that. You know what I mean? That's what everything in marketing and business comes down to. So a lot of things might have had a better product, a better beer, but they didn't have the reach, the distribution, or whatever. So they just didn't. They ran out of runway. Uh, so I like Casper Network, but it's down here. Where did I see it? At number 481. That's not looking good. Let's look up Flare. I really, really like Flare. Not for smart contracts. They're doing it. It's number 76. Okay. So maybe like the top 100. So we're going to have to get Casper in the top 100 to be viable. So that means something's going to have to happen. Big influx of money and acquisition. That could work. Um, I don't know. I was going to say H bar or Hedera acquire them, but I don't want that. I don't want it to be governed by known institutions. That's how we got in this mess. So that's where I'm at in this video for this research is the consolidation. Let's just arbitrarily top 100 top 100. Um it's going to be a consolidation. So something's going to have to happen to Casper to make it jump. What's its market cap? Oh, 43 million. Yeah, we're into the that's okay, but it's still small. And because the other ones are into the billions and sometimes trillions, like Nvidia, which is a company, not a cryptocurrency, but Bitcoin, Ethereum. So that's about it for this one. I want I wanted to start this research. Time will tell if I just sit back and do nothing and just wait a couple years. They'll announce which blockchain, but I don't want that. I want to research, get ahead of the curve, be invested and positioned when they announce it. I already knew because of all the little breadcrumbs I found, and I have a nice position and I bought it when it was cheap. That's what I'm doing. So my money right now is on Casper. We'll see. It's way out of the top 100. It's not a contender right now, but it's technology, which I'm going to read its white paper. I can't wait. And then I'll get back with you on that. That'll be another video. And if it changes, I still like the company, but if something starts popping up and you see the government start pushing something else, I'll cover that and I'll be sad about it, but I'll cover it. But as of now, I like this one. The proprietary program language and the difficulty of incorporating blockchain solution in existing infrastructure. They're going to meet you where you are. I can't wait to read that. That's how nerd I am. I'm going to read this white paper. So there we go. This is video one. It'll be a series spanning years, or if there's like a surprise announcement, because Congress is working on legislation as we speak. It's just Congress is illegitimate and captured by the banks. So the banks don't like this. The banks like HBAR because they are the known institutions. The banks can put their thumb on the scale. Other countries can put their thumb on the scale. Private special interests can put their thumb on the scale. So they're going to be pushing Hedera. I want things to be real for the first time in history. I want to look around and not see everything fake, phony, and false, see every institution captured and rotten. I want to look around and see truth and honesty. That's why I love the blockchain. That's why I'm digging Casper right now. Time will tell. We'll see. But yeah, distributed ledger. Casper is my number one contender for the VHA going on the blockchain. They'll use Casper blockchain. That's my bet right now. Thanks for joining me, folks. Stay true. I love you, and I'll be back with more information. I'll read this white paper. Ooh, I didn't see this. Dang it! There's so much information out there. I love it. Oh, I love it so bad. So, all right, catch you folks later. Love you.